My name is Anstead and I'm best known as a car host on TV, but I'm also a car designer, car builder, car author.
As a father of a 2-year-old boy, I'm very familiar with these baby wipes.
Now what's great about these is they're perfectly moistened. They're not too dry and they're certainly not too wet, so they drip everywhere. And inside each baby wipe there's actually moisturiser, which is great on Hudson's bum, but also it's perfect for leather. Now don't go crazy, just softly work around the leather and let the baby wipe do the work for you. Now, a lot of modern cars actually use plastic trims, particularly around the edge of the vehicle, because that's the part of the vehicle that's most likely to get hit. And if it does get hit, you could end up with dents in your plastic trim, just like this. Great way to get rid of that dent, a hairdryer. Now use the hairdryer to heat the plastic up. And the great thing about a hairdryer is not too hot. If you use one of those workshop blowguns, you're likely to ruin the paint. But what the hairdryer is doing is it's making the plastic trim a bit more malleable. And once you get it so it's just hot enough, get one of these cold air blowers you use for clearing out your keyboard, hit it with that. There you go, you see? It changes the shape of the plastic and it goes back to normal. That plastic has memory and the bump disappears. Dog hair in cars is always a problem. And my little tip to get around it, rubber gloves. What's actually happening is just like the static on a balloon, by rubbing the seat, the static electricity created within the glove draws the hair away from the seats, just like that. Now, if you get fed up with dirty lens covers, my advice is reach for the toothpaste. Toothpaste, as if you check inside, it's actually not smooth. It's full of tiny little particles. You can probably feel it in your mouth when you're brushing your teeth. And that is sodium bicarbonate, or baking soda. The great thing about having tiny particles in the paste is when you put it on the lens of your light, rub it in, it acts as a polishing compound. Now, each one of those tiny particles rubs at the surface. But the good news is the particles aren't big enough to cause scratches and they're not soft enough to make no difference at all. Toothpaste just happens to be the perfect consistency. Abrasive enough without going too far. A little bit of elbow grease and you'll have your lens covers looking like new. Now this stuff here you can get from a hardware store. It's called pipe lagging. It sits around a water pipe and stops it from freezing. But the great thing about this is it's affordable, it's pliable and soft, and if you shove it down the side of your car seat like so, it fills that annoying little gap where you tend to lose stuff. And I must admit, it's incredibly annoying. The amount of times I've dropped my keys down the side of my seat. Not anymore. Now, car tyre treads are obviously very important. This is the only part of the car that ever touches the road, and billions of dollars is spent every year on making sure that car tyres are safe. And when they're bald, all of that investment stops working. Now, a good way to check that you've got enough tread is to use a good old-fashioned penny. Place it inside the tread, and it uses the penny as a measuring device. You effectively want the rubber to go up to the peak of Abraham's head, so it looks like he's wearing a hat. Now make sure you check all over every surface of the tyre, making sure that you have enough rubber touching the ground. This front tyre's definitely got life in it.